Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video which I said I was going to do a little while back. Finally got a bit of time to do it. I'm going to show off my entire Arkham Horror the card game collection. I've picked up quite a few things over the course of this year. I picked up the core box a couple of years ago, but it wasn't until this year that I actually started to get into it. And I thought now would be a good time to actually go through and show you what I've got, considering I just got another load of stuff this morning as well. So first off, which I did an unboxing video of a couple of years ago, we've got the core set there. So obviously this is something that you need to actually play the game, and even though the game is a 1 to 4 player game, you'll see on the box that it actually says 1 to 2 players. That is because there isn't actually enough cards in the core set to cater for 4 players. So a lot of people will actually buy 2 core sets in order to get enough cards to play 4 player. But you're perfectly fine with 1 to 2 players on that, and plus the revised core set, which came out earlier this year, does actually have enough cards for 4 players. But I don't have the revised one, I just have this one, and I never play it with more than 2 people, so this is perfectly fine. So this box includes the Night of the Zealot campaign, which is kind of like an introduction campaign, and it includes a lot of like player cards to get you started. Basically the game has you playing as an investigator, and you build a deck of cards for that investigator from one of 5 different classes, and you can through the course of all the expansions and this stuff like investigator starter decks that you can buy separately, you can build up like quite a big collection of player cards, and you can build your own decks. Basically that is kind of like the core of the game, like building your own decks to take on these scenarios, because while the pre-built decks are decent, they are deliberately like slightly underpowered to encourage you to build your own decks. So that is why kind of like I also have like quite a lot of player cards. But this like I said includes the first scenario, Night of the Zealot campaign, and it also includes a bunch of player cards. Now most of the cards aren't actually in this box. Most of the cards I have elsewhere, which I will be getting to, but inside this box at the minute I have I'll just show you inside. I've got some instruction books for Edge of the Earth Investigator expansion, Dunwich Legacy expansion, and Night of the Zealot, which is the one that comes in this box. Basically I just keep the other ones in here just so I've got everything in one place. We also have a rules reference which comes in the core set. It's basically like an A to Z of all the different rules and stuff to play the game if you need to refer to it. And you have a learn to play guide, which is basic setup and getting you through the first campaign. And also in this box we have a load of tokens as well, which I currently have inside Ziploc bags, which have all fallen onto the floor, but these do come in kind of like those big cardboard sheets that you punch the tokens out of. But we've got the Chaos and Clue tokens there, those are double-sided. We have the horror tokens. We've got damage tokens. And we have resource tokens. So you need all of those for like playing through the game. And we have Also in this box, I just have basically when you get like a Mythos pack or an Investigator pack, they come in like these cardboard or rather plastic things with like artwork on the front, and I don't keep the cards in those plastic things, but I do keep the artwork from all of this stuff. So Investigator starter decks, Mythos packs, etc., all the art and stuff, because they do have like unique art on, so I like to keep those there. I should also point out the core game also comes with chaos tokens, which I seem to have forgotten to bring up with me today, but they're basically tokens that you put inside of a bag, and whenever you make a test in the game, you'll pull out one of these tokens, and it acts as like a modifier, like a +1, -1. It's usually a minus. This game isn't particularly easy. Also in this core box is, well, I keep these in the core box. These are actually like a fan-made product. These are dividers for standalone scenarios, which I don't currently have any of at the minute. I don't currently have any standalone scenarios, but when I do get them, those will go in a deck box using those as dividers. So that is everything I have in the core box. Now this game also comes with, or rather I should say, there are expansions available for the game. There are like a number of expansions, and each expansion box will come with 1 or 2 scenarios to start the expansion, and then there will be 6 Mythos packs released, each of which includes 1 more scenario continuing the expansion. So the best way to show that off is in the one I actually just got this morning. So if I just grab this, so the one I got this morning is the Forgotten Age expansion. I'm not sure what order this comes in. I know the Dunwich Legacy is the first expansion. I believe the Path to Carcosa is the second one. This might be the third or fourth. I'm not entirely sure. But basically inside this box you'll get your instructions for that particular campaign, and you'll get several card packs. So let's get these card packs out. Is that all of them? No, not quite. So these card packs, they come sealed like this, and you'll basically have the scenario cards and counter cards which you use to like play the game, and you'll have a bunch of player cards as well, which you can use to build your decks. And each expansion also comes with 5 brand new investigators and the cards to build like starter decks for those investigators. And you also get these mini cards which represent your investigator on the actual playing field. So you have like those there, and once your turn is over, you will then flip those over to the black and white side just to show that your turn is over. They're basically used to keep track of where you are in the game, because there's a lot of different locations that you can actually go to. So that is what an expansion looks like. And then, like I said, there are 6 Mythos packs that continue the story of that expansion. So for that particular expansion, the Forgotten Age, we have the 6 Mythos packs, which I've not opened yet. Just got them this morning. Of those 3 and those 3, and it tells you on the back like what order they come in. that says like pack 3, like that's pack 4 for instance, and basically you've just got I'll open like one of these up to show you, but you have like another sealed deck which includes the scenario cards for that scenario, plus a few more player cards as well to add to your collection. So we'll open that up and you get a bit at the back. That's just like the back part of the case. You have sealed pack of cards, and you will have like the artwork on the front, and inside of that you have the instruction and setup manual for that particular Mythos pack. What I tend to do with these, because they do come like really folded up like this, basically like that, what I will tend to do is I will open them out and then I'll leave them overnight under like a really heavy book just to flatten them out, and then you end up with like these. These are ones that I've previously flattened out. So these are from like Investigator decks and other Mythos packs that I already opened up. They're not completely flat, but they're flat enough. Basically, I'm going to at some point put these into some kind of folder, but I've not really looked into the best solution for that yet. It'll be some kind of A4 folder because they are too big to fit inside of the core box. So, you know, that's not really an option. Otherwise, I'd just keep them all in the core box. So that is the expansion that I just got this morning. I didn't plan this out properly, and I am actually running out of space here. So let's just pop a lot of this onto the floor. So we have the first expansion, Dunwich Legacy, which again, exactly the same setup as the Forgotten Age expansion. You get your player and scenario cards there, and then you've got your 6 Mythos packs. This is actually an empty box. I keep the box purely because I like having stuff like that on my shelf, and I don't want to throw them away, you know. So that's why I've got that, but the cards are all elsewhere. I recently did an unboxing of this, the Edge of the Earth Investigator expansion, which is like a brand new format they're kind of doing, because they're actually moving away from that expansion and 6 Mythos packs format. What they're going to be doing instead is releasing just 2 boxes for an expansion, and one box will contain all of the investigator and player cards for that expansion, and the other box will contain all of the scenario and encounter cards. Basically what would have been in the core box plus the 6 Mythos packs is now just split over these 2 boxes, which is a lot more convenient than tracking down like all of the Mythos packs, because things tend to go out of print and then they come back in print, and it can be a bit of a pain to pick them up. And I do believe they are actually re-releasing older expansions in this new format, not with any new cards, just splitting them up into the 2 boxes just because it's easier, really. So again, empty box, because I have the cards elsewhere, which I'll get to in a little bit. Each of the expansions has what is called a return to expansion, and this basically includes a bunch of new scenario cards and player cards. Basically, the scenario cards are meant to replace some of the scenario cards in the set that they come from, and they will like make it harder. They'll add like additional challenge. But the main draw for them, for me, is the fact that they come in these huge boxes, big sturdy cardboard box, like so, and there's enough room in these to fit all of the scenario and encounter cards for an expansion. So if I open this up, it also comes with dividers, which is very handy. So there's a instruction booklet on the top there. So when you get this box is mostly empty. There's a couple packs of cards and there are some dividers, and that's it. But once you kind of like sort out all your cards from all the Mythos packs and stuff like that, they will quite handily fit inside of there. And you see we have all the divider cards and all of the separate cards from the Dunwich Legacy base set and all of the expansion ones as well. And these cards are all sleeved as well. I always sleeve all of my cards. Very like expensive endeavor because I use an absolute shit ton of sleeves. But yeah, that is basically what my storage solution is for the encounter and scenario cards, using these boxes. So whilst they've gone on to this new expansion format, I hope that they do keep bringing these out, just because it's a really good storage solution. So I also have one of these boxes for Return to the Night of Zealot, which is the one that ties into the base game. And because there's only like 3 scenarios in the base game, this is like a much smaller kind of deal. So you've got your instruction thing there on the top, and the trick is to show this off without all the cards going everywhere, because like I said, there's not actually a huge amount of cards in this. It literally just goes up to there. I'm having to like hold them up to show it off, and I've got like this big empty space like at the bottom here. So what I actually intend to do is all of these standalone scenarios, which basically it is a pack the same size as like a Mythos pack, but it just contains scenario cards, and it is just kind of like it's not part of an expansion. It is just like one like story, self-contained, that comes in that pack, and you know, it is something that you can put into an expansion if you want, but you can just play it like standalone. So hopefully what I'm hoping to do once I have those is keep them in this box, because there is kind of like all that empty space in there, and it is kind of a bit of a pain because every single time I pick this up, all the cards kind of like flip everywhere, and I've usually got to like sort them out again, so I try not to open that all that much. So let's pop these onto the floor so we've got a bit more space. And before I get onto the player cards, I'll just show you what sleeves I use. So for the main cards, I use these Titan Shield card protection sleeves. It's kind of like got a smooth side on one side and a slightly rougher side on the other. And they're really good quality, like really nice like opaque sleeves. And yeah, I like these a lot, and I buy a hell of a lot of these because I like to have all of my cards in like the same brand of sleeves, so they're not kind of like all over the place. So that's good to it's good to go with like an established brand that you know aren't going to go out of business anytime soon, so you can keep getting the cards. And the little miniature investigator cards go in that, which doesn't want to focus, but Mayday Games mini USA game size sleeves, which like I said, doesn't want to focus, but they are very small, but they are like the exact size for those investigator cards. So that is what I use to sleeve my cards. But all of my player cards are in these. I have these 5 binders, and they all contain different stuff. So I'll go through them one by one. I'm not going to go through every single page in these binders because we'd be here for hours, and we've already been here for a while. So this black one contains all of my investigators. Basically, each investigator comes with an investigator card, and they come with like a couple signature cards as well. I mean, some investigators is more than one signature card, but generally it's like 2 signature cards. And so each investigator in here has like three slots per investigator. It's difficult to get these showing without the glare on them, but you basically have the collectors, the investigator card in the first row, then one of their signature cards in the second row, and their signature weakness in the third row. Now these are all in alphabetical order. The reason I've done that is because I don't actually have everything yet. I don't have all the expansions, so I don't have like all the investigators. So by putting these in alphabetical order, when I get those, I can then just slot them in where they need to go. And if you have a look, the small investigator card is in front of the regular investigator card there as well. So we have quite a few, and if you see spaces, that's just where the investigators I don't currently have are going to go eventually once I have them. And there will be another 5 in the box I picked up this morning. And then halfway through the folder it switches to basic weakness cards, and when you're building a deck you generally put a random basic weakness into that deck, and those are again in alphabetical order. So that is what is kept in the black folder. The white folder, by the way, these are all from Voltex. The white folder contains a sheet that I printed out just of all the cards in alphabetical order, just so that I can, like, when I get new ones, it's easy enough for me to just refer back to that list and etc. So first off, we've got neutral cards. That's all that's in like the first half of the folder, because once you get to the middle section, it starts with multi-class cards. Like I said, there are five classes in the game, and each one uses a different kind of cards, but one of the Mythos Packs and the Edge of the Earth campaign expansion, or rather the Investigator expansion, contain cards that can be used by more than one class. So even though they've only been like in like a couple sets, there is like a space specifically for those. And then all of the class-based cards are in these 3 green folders. Again, they are sorted by class and then alphabetically. So you have the first folder has the blue cards, which I've been collecting this game for a while, and for some reason the name of the blue class has just gone from my head, which is weird because the amount of time I've actually spent sorting through these cards, it should be burned in by now. But you've got all your blue cards there, again alphabetical, and then when you get into the middle section you get all of the Seeker cards. again alphabetical, and again with gaps for all of the cards that I don't yet have, which is fine until they release another expansion, and then I'm going to have to like resort all of these, but until then I'm good. And the last folder, or rather not the last folder because there's 3 here, you have the Survivor cards. And at the moment there is nothing in the back of that, because that is like my 3rd folder and there's only 5 classes. So the first 2 folders contain 2 classes each, and the 3rd folder just contains the last class. And this is folder number 2, which I'm showing you 3rd. You have Rogue and Mystic cards in this one. Again, with all the spaces, we are waiting for all the other cards to come. And that, so far, is everything I have for Arkham Horror. I am always looking for new stuff. There's still a lot of expansions that I don't have. Like I said, I don't have any of the standalone scenario packs, of which I think there are about 6 or so. So I'm also looking to get those, and I would just like a complete collection of them, which hopefully at some point I will get, but I'm still like quite a long way off. Like, even though I've got all this stuff, this is probably a quarter of what's available, if that. So yeah, long way off. But I just wanted to show that off because I said I would, and I'm sure some people are interested. Some people probably turned off like 15 minutes ago. But if you did enjoy this video, please click like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.